मोल्दोवा मशरक़ी यूरोप का एक ऐसा मुल्क है जो ज़्यादा मरूफ नहीं लेकिन तवज्जो का मुंतज़िर है। इस मशरक़ी यूरोपी मुल्क ने सोवियत यूनियन के ख़ात्मे के साथ ही आज़ादी हासिल की। इसकी पूरी तारीख़ में ये बहुत से पेशों का निशाना रहा है, लेकिन आज ये एक पुरसुकून और पुरअमन मुल्क है जिसमें यूरोप की कुछ खूबसूरत तरीन ख़वातीन हैं। अगरचे माइशत बेहतरीन नहीं है, लेकिन मकामी लोग जाने के काबिल हैं।
The capital is Chisinau, and the population is around 3 million. The country generally has a harsh, cold climate year-round. Therefore, if you are going to visit Moldova, you are likely to see a cold landscape. Moldova is one of the least known countries in Europe and transitioned to an agriculture-oriented economy after the collapse of the Soviet Union. In a country where agriculture is a common livelihood, there are more women than men. Many single women want to improve their economic situation by marrying wealthy men from outside the country. There are tens of thousands of young single women in Moldova. Since Moldovans are of Slavic origin, they usually have blue eyes and fair skin. Moldovan men migrate out of the country due to limited job opportunities. Consequently, even though many women are of marriageable age, they have difficulty finding suitable partners. If you want to visit Moldova, you don't need many documents. With a return ticket and hotel reservation, you probably won't have any problems. Many countries are exempt from needing a visa to enter Moldova. However, some people try to flee to other European countries via Moldova. If these attempts are detected, you will be detained as soon as you enter the country. When you arrive at the airport, you can take buses or taxis to the city center. However, normal taxis may realize you're a tourist and charge you a high price. You can use the Yandex.Go taxi app to get cheaper transportation. Of course, you need to have euros or dollars and convert them into Moldovan currency before getting in the car. Currently, $1 is equivalent to 17 Moldovan lei. Buses to the city center cost around 2 lei, so transportation is cheap. If you're traveling on a budget, you can stay in hostels with rooms for 4 people. Some of these hostels are even located in shopping centers. Such affordable accommodations cost around 150 Moldovan lei per night. In other words, you can find a place to stay for an average of $20. Even if you want to stay in a higher standard hotel, don't set your expectations too high. Almost all of the hotels are Soviet-era buildings. Therefore, the rooms and furniture are really old. If you plan to stay in Moldova for a while, you will have plenty of opportunities to meet new people. You may want to consider buying a new SIM card. You can meet your internet needs with a SIM card that you can buy for $10 at any shopping center. For example, there are packages offering 100 gigabytes of internet service for $10. To withdraw money in Moldova, you only need a Visa or MasterCard credit card. You can use these cards to withdraw money from ATMs all over the country. However, if you don't trust ATMs, you should carry cash. One interesting fact about Moldova is that it is one of the poorest countries in Europe. This is why many young people cannot see a future in their country. Young men and women are therefore looking for ways to leave the country permanently. When you are there, you will see many old people on the streets. If you're young and looking to mingle, you might be disappointed by the crowds of elderly people, but don't be sad. Moldova still has beautiful women and handsome men. While strolling through the capital city of Chisinau, you can meet beautiful locals. The women in the country can be especially dazzling on hot days. The splendid beauty of Slavic women is especially revealed on hot days. You might think Moldovan women resemble Russians or Ukrainians. After all, they have a Slavic background and similar genetics to East Slavic peoples. If you admire Slavic people, you may want to visit Moldova to meet these young, beautiful individuals. They are all very friendly and outgoing. They are civilized, and Moldovan women are looking for husbands. Romania, which borders Moldova, is not very prosperous. However, it has managed to enter the European Union. Moldova, on the other hand, has not yet joined the European Union, so its economy is not good. Without economic incentives from the European Union, the country is stuck. For this reason, Moldovan men often work abroad and send money back to their families. In fact, some sources say that more than 25% of Moldovans live abroad. Moldovans are fortunate that those with Moldovan passports can easily enter Europe. This is the main reason why young people can easily leave the country. For example, it is estimated that Moldovan women are interested in marrying Western Europeans, Arabs, and Americans. It is difficult to live a happy and fulfilling life in Moldova, and some living conditions are miserable. This is because there is almost no production in Moldova. One of the country's main sources of income is tourism, which brings money from outside the country. Since the collapse of the Soviet Union, Moldova has never recovered, and economic crises are becoming more frequent. Interestingly, Moldova is a Slavic European country that does not receive much support from neighboring countries. Moldova is isolated, and visitors are confronted with a lack of infrastructure. Consequently, Moldova has the lowest number of tourists in Europe. Many people around the world are not curious about Moldova and have never even heard of it. Moldova is not on the world agenda in any way, be it in sports, science, or politics. Moldova has beautiful people with great genetics, but they don't receive enough attention. Today, it would take billions of dollars in investments to make Moldova an attractive European state. Without external support, however, this is unlikely to happen. Additionally, there are dozens of abandoned buildings and hotels in Moldova. Many of the buildings in use are also in ruins. Additionally, as you walk through the streets of this country, you will come across many Soviet buildings, as in other countries that left the Soviet Union. Even in the capital city of Chisinau, there are almost no new buildings. These buildings exude history and do not belong to modern times. Since few companies are investing in the country, the number of factories is nearly non-existent. In fact, some of the buildings have peeling paint and look like ruins. Life on the streets and roads becomes very static from time to time. On the other hand, you can see many peddlers on the streets of Chisinau, and their faces reveal their poverty. Most people sell things they don't use at home on the side of the road. If you look at people's faces, you can see that almost all of them are searching for something and hoping for a better life. The Moldovan people are engaged in an individual battle, each trying to improve their own welfare. The elderly, in particular, are quiet and not prone to talking. Due to the cold weather, people may appear introverted. Additionally, since the country's purchasing power is low, people cannot buy new goods and clothes from stores. Therefore, you can find markets selling second-hand clothes almost everywhere in Moldova. The official language of Moldova is Romanian. However, if you know English, you won't have much trouble communicating with people. You can easily eat a meal in cafes and catering establishments for about $4. The average monthly salary in Moldova is between $200 and $300. I'm sure these amounts seem quite low to you too. Although life is cheap in Moldova, it is difficult to live on $300. The average house rent is between $150 and $200. As a result, people need to live on only $100 for food, clothing, and entertainment. If you ask the locals about their low incomes, they will tell you how difficult it is to make a living. Even those who work hard labor jobs, such as construction, barely earn $350 a month. Because income is low, people cannot buy what they want for themselves and their families. Typically, wealthy people live in the capitals of countries. However, in Chisinau, the capital of Moldova, more than half of the population has a middle or extremely low income. Overall, Moldova is a calm and peaceful country known for its warm and hospitable people. The people there consider guests sacred and welcome everyone who comes to their homes with sincere smiles. Moldova has deep-rooted traditions, rich folk dances, and a melodic musical culture. Family ties and social solidarity are also very strong there. Kinship ties are strong, and families see supporting each other as a natural responsibility. The people live simply and are honest and hardworking. They live unpretentious lives in lush green parks surrounded by nature. Moldova attracts visitors with its sincerity and cultural warmth, leaving a pleasant mark on hearts. If you want to meet a Moldovan, it is important to be respectful, courteous, and humble. They are multicultural, open-minded, and civilized. If you plan on settling in Moldova, know that a difficult life awaits you. However, if you are only going there for tourism, you will be satisfied. If you are